Hello. I'm going to look at numbers today, all the different kinds of numbers everywhere. So telephone numbers, dates, times, all kinds really, and the different ways that we read them. And then later read some text with some numbers too. So generally a good look at numbers today. So for example, sometimes we have decimal points. In English, the decimal point is small and round, like a little full stop or period, not a comma as it is in France and other European countries. So when we write big numbers in English, we separate the thousands with a comma. For example, 5,345. I like to say "and" after the hundreds in a kind of soft way, just something like that, just to help people know where the number is. So 5,345. After the thousands, we just pause with a comma, and then after the hundreds, very often make a little sound like an like "and," fish and chips. So a big number like that would be 5,345. And then we have decimal points as well. Often numbers become zero. The zero becomes a kind of an O. So I might say 5.03. So come and read some numbers with me, because they're all different, the ways that we read numbers. So in years, we don't say 1,905 for this year, and we definitely don't put a comma in it, do we? So that would be a number, 1,905. But when it's a year, we read it as two pairs. So, different ways of reading numbers. I'm waiting for people to join me. Please join the lesson, join class, and come and talk about this. You know, there are even quite a few words which have numbers inside them. For example, bicycle, triathlon, decathlon. We could find some of those words too. Hello there, Selma.
Hello, teacher.
Hi there. Any chance that you could make yourself a bit louder, please?
Okay, sorry. Yes. And
Yes.
how about now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you know, when it gets loud in the room and noisy, it's difficult to hear you sometimes.
Yes, teacher, because I've just woke up. This is my so my voice gets always very loud.
This is my first lesson. So tell me a little bit about you, first of all. Where are you from?
I am from India.
And how many of my lessons have you been in?
I think this one is the third one.
Ah, yes, I seem to remember you. I don't remember which lessons you were in. Ah, and I see Nino's back as well, and I remember her from a few weeks ago. And Bayan, I don't know. Is everybody on the mic here?
Yes, sir.
Good, Nino. And also, Bayan La Única, are you on the mic here? I hope everybody's on the mic. So let's start off. I just mentioned some words in English, not just in English, because they're Latin based usually, words which have numbers in them, but not 1, 2, 3, but something like other words. For example, buy or try or duo. So these words in English. Can you tell me any of these kind of words? Does anybody know any of these kind of words?
The word you have written on the chat box. You mean the word written in the chat box?
No, I mean, do you know any words which speak about numbers? For example, triangle. In the word triangle, we can see a number, can't we? Can you see the number 3 is there, try?
Yeah.
So, can you tell me some other words like this which contain numbers? So, sometimes quad is used. How many quad words can you give me? Do you know?
Decade? No.
Everybody's really quiet. I wonder if it's my...
Century? No.
You know, I can hardly hear you, Nino. I'm just checking my sound here because...
Decade, century?
Century, that's a good one. Century, thank you. Century. Yeah. Well, I'd like to look at that cent word and see what we can find with cent. But first of all, let's go... Well, let's go with cent then for a while. And I'll come back to quad. Quad is interesting. So, anybody?
Twice?
Yeah, twice is interesting because twice has a kind of 2 in it. Twice. So, century. Do you know any other words which begin with cent? Do you know, for example, centurion? Oh, big echo, Salvatore.
This is centauri. Like this.
Can you write it for me?
Yeah, of course.
What does that mean, Nina?
I don't remember. I know I read it somewhere, but I don't know the meaning.
I know there's a word for a Roman soldier who is in he's a soldier with 100 other soldiers, and he's a centurion. And I know century, and I know one about temperature. Do you know a word about temperature which begins with cent?
Celsius.
Begin with cent.
Well, you know, Celsius is interesting because there is another word which people tend to use in English more than the word Celsius. Celsius is used, but they use centigrade as well. Have you heard this word? Most people speak about Fahrenheit or centigrade. Celsius is a little bit of a scientific word in English. So, any more? Maybe you could describe one and we can guess them. Other words, we've got cent, that's one. We've got quad, that's another. We've got tri, and we've got bi. So any of these kind of words, can you give me them? Let's see in the first 5 minutes how many of these kind of words we can find. Nobody's given me any quad. Do you know a word for somebody or something which has 4 legs? What is the word for something with 4 legs? Quad word. There's a word like pedestrian, ped, which means feet or legs. So quadruped is 4-legged animal. Tricycle, yes. Any more tri words? Triangle, tricycle, triathlon. Can you give me some more? Say the words out loud. Okay, well, I'm not getting a lot of words from you now, so I was hoping for a few more words. Maybe we'll come back to some. Let's have a look then at the text on the screen. So, the first section is about saying a 0 as a kind of O. Now, Nino, can I ask you to try it for me?
Okay.
So on the screen there, let me post the link to, just in case people want to load this page. So I'd like you to read those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 using an O, the O sound, like O. Okay?
Okay. After a decimal point, 5.03.
Good.
Like this?
Yeah, after a decimal point, 5.03. People don't usually say 5.03. They say 5.03 quite often. So sometimes there's 2 ways of saying it, but O is very common in numbers in some of these cases. So read number 2.
In telephone number 670138.
Yeah, and
In bus number 701.
yes, 701 bus. Bus 701, yeah, that's right. And next one?
In hotel rooms number 306. 206.
206, yeah. And how do you say hotel?
Hotel.
Hotel, yes. So in English, hotel is tel at the end. Hotel. O-tel. Hotel. All right, and number 5?
In years 1905.
Ah, now in years, we don't say 19. What do we say?
1905.
Yeah, 1905 is one way. There is another way to say that. If we want to miss the O, we have to say 1905.
Yeah.
So there was a famous year of the Norman invasion, 1066. And
You were muted, sir.
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah. So I didn't guess the last part of your.
So when we read years,
Yeah.
we do it in pairs. So 1066, 1905 or 1905. So if there is a number like 1912, then we just have pairs.
Yeah.
But if the second pair begins with a 0, then we've got two ways. 1904 or 1904. Now the year now is interesting. We can say it two ways again. Do you know two ways of saying this year?
Yeah, I can try.
Try to say this year. How many ways can we say it? So we can't say, well, we can say it different ways.
We can say 2013.
Yeah, this time it works reading it just as a number. But when there's 19, then we can't say 1900 but we can say 2013, yes.
We can say.
And another way would be something like 2013.
2013.
I haven't started saying it that way yet, but I think soon I will, because it soon becomes difficult to say 2021, for example.
Yeah.
2021 is easier. So soon everybody will start saying those years as number pairs. Okay, so now we go on to decimals.
The other way to say the 2030, what is it, sir, please?
So, well, we've said them both. So we've got 2013 or 2013.
But not 2 or 13, no.
Not, well, we can't say 213, no, we have to say, and 20, this one we can say as a number because it works. We can say 2013, but when we have hundreds, for example, in 100 years' time, then we can't say 2112. We can say 2112. That's how years go. Okay, Nino, when we have a naught, where do we say naught sometimes in decimals before the point? So can you, if I give a number for you in the text chat and verbally,
yeah,
try and read it for me.
9 or 34.
Well,
34.
you forgot something. You forgot to say point.
No.
And we have to say point.
0.034.
Yeah, oh, that's good. 0.034. That's right. And you don't say 34. We never say 34 after the decimal point. So if we have 0 or naught, we can have the 0 as well before the decimal point. And we can say naught. But
So
we don't. We mustn't. Yeah, we mustn't say here. We mustn't say 0.34 because 30 is like 3 tens. So only before the decimal point can you do that. So here we would say either 0.34 or 0.34.
But saying 0.34 is correct too.
Yes, 34, that's right, not 34. The important thing is not to say the numbers with hundreds and 30s and things like that after the decimal point. You just take each number. So after the decimal point, you can say 0.3456. Never 0.3456. So it's 0.3456.
Okay.
Okay. Hello there, Daniela. You managed to get in?
Yeah, I finally did it. Thank you.
Good. So we're looking at some numbers and we're going to read in a while.
Can you hear me, Leon?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Okay, sorry.
Where are you from?
No, I'm from Italy. I'm living in Sicily right now.
Ah, and has it got warm in Sicily yet, or is it still cold?
Well, no, it's not hot, but it's been really nice. For Easter, we had something like 18 or 20 degrees. It was nice. Now it's a little bit cloudy, but
Here in England, where I live, we've had the sun, but it's been quite chilly actually.
Yeah, you're right.
Not that warm. It's been colder than. Well, it's been the coldest May. I mean, actually, no. Sorry, the coldest March. Not the coldest, but the 11th coldest since records began. And records began in this country a long time ago, so it's been quite cold. But when I look out the window, it looks like summer. The sky is blue and the sun is shining, but then when I go out, it's cold.
Yeah, I think so. Well, in England it must be really cold. No, here it's quite nice, but it's been quite cold even here in Sicily. We are not really used, but not the coldest March. I wouldn't say not the coldest March. No.
Sometimes March can be very hot, and sometimes it can be very cold, because Easter time is a very strange time.
Yeah, you're right.
Here in my country, we can even have snow on the ground.
Oh, right.
But it can be sunny too, and sometimes you can sit with your t-shirt and in the sun, and sometimes it's snowing.
Yeah, here we had people at the beach bathing and swimming.
Yeah, it can be like that if you're lucky here. But today it looks like that, but it isn't.
It's chilly. Okay. Anyway, I think the sun gives you. We say in Italy we are quite meteoropathic. I don't know if this word exists in the English language. Meteoropathic means that our personality is influenced by the weather.
Well, I don't use that word, meteoropathic.
Okay. No. Okay. I'm going to look for it. Let me see. Okay, Google Translator gives me this word, but it's often wrong, so I don't know. Meteoropathic.
Well, the idea of it is quite familiar, but I would just say that the weather affects you, affects your feelings.
Yes. Right.
Now, so we're looking first of all at all of the different patterns here for reading numbers. Yeah. Are you familiar with some of them?
I must say I'm attending this class because I really don't like maths. And it's the only way to go nearer, to go closer to the text.
Well, it's not exactly maths, is it? But I might do some maths later, because there's some interesting things about reading in maths.
Okay.
Especially when you read brackets. You know, if I have something like this, let me write it.
Yeah.
If I have something like this with brackets and I ask you to read it, for example,
really
could you read it?
No, I would say no. And just figure it out. I am an English teacher, so that's why I'm attending, because I have difficulties in reading numbers and decimals, and I really didn't know about note and nil and anything about this.
Okay, it's interesting then. Yes, there are some special words like nil in sport. And when people read these brackets, they don't actually say open round brackets. They don't say that. If you go to a maths class in English, or you speak to anybody, they will read it, and the brackets will be in their voice. So they will just say 2 times 5 plus 6. But if they say something like this, they would read this a different way. They would say 2 times 5 plus 6. You see, they wouldn't actually read open round bracket 2 times 5, close round brackets, plus, because that would be a bit hard. They would say the first one, 2 times 5 plus 6, and the second one, 2 times 5 plus 6. So they would use their voice to group things like that. Let me ask you to try some of these then. First of all, a decimal for you. Try this one.
Yeah, you said it's 0.023.
Yes, that's good. That's right. 0.023, that's a good way. Let me give you another number now. Long number.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay. This is 12,056,099.
Yeah, I would do it slightly differently, but you're okay. But in England, we recommend a kind of and after the hundreds. And if there aren't any hundreds, like here, then I think I would read it something like this: 12,056,099. Just make a kind of sound like that. That's what people are used to. But some people almost drop it completely. It's hardly existent. So it's not a big deal. But yeah, one mistake you can make. Oh, my battery. I need to plug that in and make sure I don't change my screen settings, otherwise I lose all of everything. So cancel the screen change. Okay, yes, so you can, sometimes people make a mistake and they say some words after thousands, 12,000 and, but nobody should say and after the thousands, but you can say and after hundreds. Do you know the word ordinal number?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so sometimes these are not stated in text. So if I see a date like this, I would sometimes feel free to say this with articles and prepositions. So I might even say on the, and I might say on the 5th of July 1987. So sometimes we don't write things in full, so we might just write in the something like June 6th. But I think it's best to say June the 6th or the 6th of June.
Yeah.
So let me ask you to do the next one. If I move the screen. Yeah. Can you read the one about nil here?
Yeah. Arsenal bet Manchester United 2-0.
What did you say for this word?
Bet.
It's not bet, is it?
It's not a past.
It's not bet. It's
Beat.
beat. Yes.
Okay.
Beat. Okay.
Arsenal beat. I thought it was a past because I would have said Arsenal beats, but maybe you're talking about Arsenal as a team. So
Arsenal is a team, yes. Arsenal beat. Well, the fact that's interesting in itself because, you know, if you group something, then you can call it it.
Okay, fine, yes.
But so Arsenal beats, that would be present simple, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that would be a regular thing, which is probably not true. Okay. Now let's have a bit of practice on some of these large numbers then. So let me ask you to read this one, number 3.
57,411.
Good. Who's just come into the room now? Let's see who we've got. We've got 1 or 2 new people. If you've just come into the room, just say hello, please.
Hello.
Hello there, Ina. Hello. Where are you from?
From Mallorca.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Good. So let me just ask you to read one of these for me. We're reading numbers. Can you read number 4 of the large numbers?
Yes. 57,411,000.
Very good, very good. Okay. And I was interested in some of these words because some of these words are related to numbers. So what I'd like to do is see if we can find some more in each set. So we had century and centigrade. We've got triangle. Let's go to the top one, number 1. Just say out some words which begin with try. How many words can you give me that begin with try? So triangle.
Yeah.
Triangle. It's not tree, it's triangle.
Okay.
Triathlon.
And what about this word? Triplet or triplet? I don't know.
Triplet. A triplet would be maybe like twins, but 3 of them.
I think, okay, I looked for this word on my dictionary because I was thinking about the Italian word, and the Italian word is linked to football.
You mean a hat trick, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know. Look up hat trick. Maybe you mean hat trick. And what kind of triplet? What did you mean with triplet?
I always hear it on the TV when they are playing football.
I don't know what it means though.
Okay.
I'm guessing it means hat trick.
In Spanish, when we do a triplet, when a team of football do a triplet, is that they win 3 different championships, maybe the champions, the league, and the cup.
Ah, they win 3 competitions. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think hat trick is the right word because Google.
But hat trick is 3 goals by 1 player.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
One.
think so, yeah.
That's a hat trick. But I've heard of doing the double. If you win the league and the cup, and the triple, it would be the triple.
Okay.
But a triplet, when I first hear the word triplet, I think about 3 children born together at the same time.
Oh, really?
And there are words for 4 children born at the same time. Do you know what that would be? Find out the word for 4 children born at the same time. Quadruplet.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's an interesting word, and that's the most difficult one actually of those. So let's have a look and see if we know any other try kind of words. Try. Triplet, triathlon, and triangle. We only have 3 at the moment. What about trident?
Okay.
Don't know.
Do you know what a trident is? It's
No.
something. It's a word we don't. It's a noun. We don't use it nowadays.
Isn't it a mythology?
In mythology, that it's used. Yes. What is it now?
It is like a hoe. It is like a hoop. It's used to level farm to work in a farm.
So a fork. A fork has 4 what? A fork has 4 what?
Dance? No.
Dens? I don't know.
Yes, it can have 3.
It's difficult.
Do you know the word my family would use here? A trident has 3.
Yeah,
A fork has 4. What?
dance.
I'll tell you the word I use because I don't think you'll find it. But maybe you will, because if you're looking, I use this word.
wrong. Never had.
So, let's go back for another try word. Anybody? Do you know in rugby?
Fork has 4 tines.
4 what? Say a fork has 4. I say a fork has 4 prongs, and what did you say? Tines? No. Tines? No, I never used that word.
Google.
Tines.
I don't know.
Interesting. I'll check that word, but I've never ever heard that word, tines. Yeah.
I have found it on.
Yeah, you should be able to join, Louis, because there's only
I don't know.
we've got space in the room at the moment. In rugby, what is a try?
How do you write it?
But I think it's maybe not spelt the same. I think it might be like this. And I'm not sure. It does have 3 points. You do get 3 points, but I don't think it's related to 3, like TRI. But it's interesting. I have to check that later. Do they play rugby in Italy?
Well, it's not so common. I think they do, but it's not so common as basketball or soccer or football. No.
Basketball is quite popular in school as a kind of exercise and PE lesson game, but we don't really have a lot of leagues. There are only 1 or 2 professional leagues, and not so big as rugby or soccer or football. Yeah. Do you know that rugby is a town?
Really?
Rugby is the name of a town, and there are 2 other towns in England which give their names to a sport. Do you know the sport where you have a shuttlecock?
No.
You have a shuttlecock and you hit the shuttlecock with your racket. And this sport is also named after...
Badminton.
Badminton, yes. This is a place as well, a town.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's another one. I remember finding 3 of these where they invented a game and the game spread. Rugby was in a kind of football invented in the public school there. But, you know, I'm disappointed really because I thought we'd have hundreds and hundreds of try words. Could you find some more before we move on?
Let's see. Let me see. I don't know. Triple.
Sometimes they don't seem to be related to 3.
Oh.
This word here, I don't think is related to 3. Trial. Triple, yeah, we've got triple.
Trial, not. I don't think trial, no.
No, so I think I might collect some which are not related to 3 and some that are related to 3 and see which are related to 3. A trial is probably related to trying something as a verb, to try somebody. So, are we going to move away from try because we seem to be stuck now? I thought there were going to be millions of them.
Yeah,
but
we call our flag the tricolor. I don't know if this word is common in English. Because
yeah, the tricolor, but here, this is in French we would have that. But
okay. So no tricolor in English.
But we don't say tricolour, no. We don't say tricolour, no.
Okay.
It's like some things are French and they stay French in English. So things like, you know, if somebody's going to eat, then you don't say good appetite in English. You just say bon appetit. And there are about 20 or 30 different little snippets of French which stay in French, and maybe there's even some Italian. I'm not sure about what Italian snippets there are. There are lots of Italian words, but I don't know if there are any actual Italian phrases which keep complete. But there are French, quite a lot.
Yeah.
Tricycle, yes. Tricycle. You know, I think it might be good then to maybe look at the next word. So we've got by. Can we just race them a bit now, because I wanted to do some reading as well if we get time. So by. Let's go to by. See what we get for by. Bicycle. Biannual. Do you know this one?
Mm-hmm.
There, and we've got. Have we got a triannual?
Yes, too. No?
Okay, so I'm going to put those down. And do you know what a perennial plant is?
No.
Bimestral. What's that then, Nina?
Yeah. It does exist in French.
Well, I'll make a note of that one because I don't know it.
Yeah, it's more Latin.
Once after 2 months.
Yeah, in English here stands bimonthly.
Yeah, that would make more sense. But you know, sometimes
No, once after 2 months, because in
every 2 months.
Every 2 months, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this is interesting. You know, because there is some ambiguity over some of these by words, like bimonthly, can be very ambiguous. Can you see the possible ambiguity? Do you know this word, ambiguity?
Yeah, because it's every
it
2
can
times
be
monthly.
It can be, so I have to use, it's best not to use that one word, try to get the meaning into the one word. It's best to use a phrase. So we need 2 phrases for this bimonthly, because it's not clear if I say bimonthly, it happens bimonthly, you'll think, what? Is that every fortnight? Or is it every 2 months? So you could say once a fortnight, and that one doesn't have a problem if you say fortnightly. But when you put the word bi-monthly, the 2 is very confusing, because is it twice a month or is it every 2 months? So it's best to say once, so not once a fortnightly, once a fortnight or fortnightly, and once every 2 months, or every 2 months. You don't need to say once, you can just say every 2 months. So this bi-monthly is a bit of a problem word. I don't really know what it means. I'd have to guess it. So you know, it could mean fortnightly, and it could mean every 2 months.
We usually, I'm talking about the Latin languages. We usually use it for publications, newspapers. No, not newspapers, but magazines or publications. Just published every 2 months.
Yeah, I think I would go for every 2 months, because for the reason that in English anyway, that if it were twice a month, then they wouldn't use the word at all. But it does have this slight confusion about it. So okay, let's try and move on. I think maybe quad is the most interesting, just to spend a little time on, see if we can find some quad words. Quadruple we've got, and we've got quartet. What is quartet? You know this word, don't you?
How do you write it?
It's Q-U-A-R-T-E-T. But that doesn't look right either, actually. That I think, let me check. Because
isn't it related to music?
Yes, four musicians in a band.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So a quartet. Yeah.
And there is a measurement, a quart. And it's like a quarter of a gallon, 2 pints, I think. So can you give me any other Q-U-A-D or core words?
Yeah, just like quad bikes. I don't know. Just like motorcycle with 4 wheels.
Yes. Quad bikes are a bit of a death trap, I think, sometimes. Strange how they tip over more easily than a bike. Why is that? Why is it that you've got 4 wheels on a bike and it topples over every corner when you go fast around a corner, but a motorbike with only 2 wheels goes zooming round the corner and doesn't fall over? Why?
That's a good question.
I think herein lies the danger of the quad bike. It's too top heavy and you can't bank it. I was using bank as a kind of verb then. You know, you can't bank it. You can't go round the corner at an angle.
Bank it.
Well, quad then. Okay, let's move on from quad. Let's see if we've got some time to do some reading about numbers. This will be a bit of interesting, fun to do. So we've got lots of numbers in this article about the taxi. So it starts off without numbers. So let me ask, maybe, Aina, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Could you read this first paragraph 1 about forgetful passengers, please?
Yes. It may be that Londoners switch off when they are in the comfort of a taxi, or they may have had done too many after a hard day at work. The capital's cab users have emerged as the most forgetful passengers in the world, leaving behind a bizarre haul of personal possessions including a machine gun and a blow-up ship.
Right, let me just look at the pronunciation and ask you to read it through once more with some fixes, if you could. So first is, there are lots of words in English, for example here, London and comfort, with the letter O, which is not pronounced O. It's pronounced here as like in up. So if I say come up, it's the same vowel sound, come up. And love, in fact, love sun, that's So here, London is London, Londoners. So it may be that Londoners switch off when they are in the the comfort of a taxi. Or they may have had one too many, maybe drinking too much, after a hard day at work. The capital's cab users have emerged as the... Now this next word is so often mispronounced. So can I ask you to say those 2 words again?
Yes. Most forgetful.
Yeah, the problem most people have is they don't say O at all here. They say most. You didn't say most, but you said a little bit too mosty. You need to be a bit more mosty, most forgetful. So you need a bit more O in that, in the world, leaving behind a bizarre, and this vowel sound here is like horse or haul.
Okay.
Do you know what that means? A haul?
No.
Well, a haul is a big pull together of lots of things, like a collection. So when you go to catch fish, you haul the fish.
Okay.
And a big truck could be a haulage company's truck. Haulage is moving lots of things in a big lorry. So haul is a big collection of things all together, crazy collection of things. So please read it through. Getting the... Let's just go from here and get that R as an Londoners. It may be that Londoners comfort. Just try and read it that first sentence, but get those sounds. Could you please?
Yes. Who is going to read?
Well, Aina, can you read it again? Just that first sentence.
Sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
It may be that Londoners switch off when they are in the comfort of a taxi, or they may have one too many after a hard day at work.
That was better for Londoners, but when you said comfort, I could still hear a little bit of calm. But okay, that's good. So now we're going to move on, and Daniela, I will ask you to read the next one with some numbers. So we go down. We've got some numbers in this text. So could you read paragraph 2, please?
Yes. A survey of cabbies found that passengers lost more than 50,000 mobile phones in just 6 months. Among other valuables were a wooden leg, an antique telescope, and a bag of diamonds worth £100,000. One peeved man even left his drunken girlfriend sprawled on the back seat as a tip.
Yeah, do you know this word sprawled?
Not really, no.
Can anybody try to find a phrasal verb? There's 3 possibilities here.
Oh. Just spread out, I think.
Spread out on the back seat, yes. So she'd probably been drinking too much because she was his drunken girlfriend. Spread out on the back seat as a tip. Right. So those numbers were not too difficult. Let's see. There's the taxi. Makes a nice diesel noise, like, and now going down, we've got some proper numbers to read now. So let me see if I can ask Enes, are you here on the mic there?
I'm here, teacher.
Hi there.
Hi, teacher.
Hi there. I'd like you to read this paragraph 3, please, with some numbers in it.
Okay. In the past 6 months, 54 and 722 mobile phones and 4 and 718 handheld computers, 179 laptops, and 923 computer memory sticks have been left behind in the capital's cabs.
Okay, let's have a look at this again.
Find a single word.
Yeah, okay, just a moment. Let me just go through this paragraph 3. So, first of all, the numbers. So, we would say 54,000, and then the comma, we stop. 54,872. Can you say 54,872?
54,872.
Yeah, that's right. And next number, 4,718.
4,718.
Yeah, so the only place we want to use an and is after the hundreds, if we're going to use it at all. You can just make an un sound as well, or just a little sound, like 4,718. You could just make a little sound there. But don't make an and after the thousands. So that's how we read the numbers. Now, the word computer, I want to hear you say computer.
Computer.
Now, I can hear you saying com, which is okay. You're allowed to say com at the beginning. But if you say com at the beginning, you can make a mistake if you say com at the beginning, because you can stress the first syllable, but the syllable to stress is the second syllable. So I say computer. You've got a lot of noise there. Just say that one word, computer.
Computer.
Yeah, that's better. You said computer. That's good. But a lot of native speakers won't say com. They'll just say computer. Okay, that's good. I'm going to mute you now because the noise is there.
Yeah.
All right. So, Nino, are you still there? Nino?
Yes, I'm here.
Can I ask you to read paragraph 3?
Okay. Paragraph 3. In the past 6 months, 54,872 mobile phones, 4,718 handheld computers, 3,179 laptops, and 923 computer memory sticks have been left behind with capital Scout.
Yeah, you have a bit of a soft H, so you're not saying 100, has 100. So you need to practice the H sound a little bit. Like in Hampshire, Hereford and Hertfordshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. H sounds you need.
100.
Now, let me move down, because we're near the end now, and we've got some more numbers, so let me move on. Daniela, can you try this Bombay?
Yeah, of course. Bombay was second on the list for lost mobile phones with 32,970 abandoned, followed by Sydney with 6,440, according to new research based on the experiences of 2,000 cabbies in 11 cities around the world.
Interesting there. I'd like to say something interesting about that, is that when you started reading according to, I heard a full stop before according to. You read it like this. Bombay was second on the list for lost mobile phones with 32,970 abandoned, followed by Sydney with 6,440. According to new research based on the experience, you started and then, of course, it got to the end. According to new research based on the experiences of 2,000 cabbies in 11 cities around the world, what? Finished. So to look back, you need to read it so that it's got a different tone, a dropping a tone which is looking backwards. So followed by Sydney with 6,440, according to new research, that way. So can I hear it like that once more?
Yeah, again from the beginning.
Yeah, the whole thing, and try to get that feeling when you get to according to new research that it's adding on.
So Bombay was second on the list for lost mobile phones with 32,970 abandoned, followed by Sydney with 6,440, according to new research based on the experiences of 2,000 cabbies in 11 cities around the world.
Yeah, that's good, because now I feel like you finished. Yeah. Okay, good. So that's that. Let's move the screen. I'm not going to do all of the comprehension questions. We're just reading for the numbers at the moment. There's questions there about deliberately and left behind and everything like that. So no numbers in this one. London's taxi drivers also emerged as an honest bunch, with 96% of lost mobile phones being returned by drivers and 97% of laptops. Many cabbies reported chasing after passengers, so no numbers there, but some interesting things left in taxis. Things like, well, umbrellas, briefcases, wooden legs, all kinds of things. So it's a good article, but let's just finish off with a few numbers to say. Let's go for some really big ones now. Can you read that one, please, Daniela?
Yeah. So 12,099.
12 million.
12,099,567.
Okay, and this one?
1.25. No, 1.25.
Yeah, and this one.
0.09.
Good, perfect. That's a good one to finish on. 0.09. All right then. See you later, because it's next lesson time now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye, Nina.